for today is chapter number 4, structure of ocean floor. Okay, now you can see the picture 4.1 to get a clear idea that what we will talk about. Continents, can you tell? Okay, so this is like something which they have asked you. Continents and ocean are a part of lithosphere and hydrosphere respectively. Continents and ocean lie on plates. During low tides, the level of ocean water goes down and the land below the water near the coast is exposed. Ships wrecks when they strike against the rocks in the sea. If the above points are correct, then select the most appropriate option from the following. Okay, that if you believe that all of these points are correct, right? We know that there is land beyond the ocean, okay, below the ocean. So all of these things. So if you believe that the points are correct, then select the most appropriate option, okay? So the first one is the surface of the earth is occupied by land and water. There is land below the ocean too. Even if the water has the same level, the land submerged is not even. And the level of water and land is uneven. Okay, so as per you do the chapter, then you will get to know the answer of all of these questions. That which one is right, which one is important. Okay, so make sure that you listen to the chapter carefully and then discuss in your class. Geographical explanation. We know that the proportion of water and land is uneven on Earth. About 71% of the surface is covered by water, but there is land even below this water. But like water, it is not at the same level. Okay, so we all know, right, कि water हमारा सरफेस जो अर्थ का सरफेस है उसमें 71% इज कवर्ड बाय वाटर ओके एंड अनदर वन इज कवर्ड बाय लैंड बट दिस इज नॉट अनइवन के दोनों का जो प्रपोर्शन है दैट इज नॉट अनइवन ओके बट लाइक वाटर इट इज़ नॉट एट द सेम लेवल कि जैसा वाटर का लेवल है वैसा ही ग्राउंड का लेवल है या सरफेस लेवल है वैसा इट्स नॉट श्योर इट इज़ नॉट अनइवन. We classify the various landforms on the earth on the basis of altitudes. A similar classification can be done for landforms submerged under the water. Okay, तो landforms का अगर हम लोग classification करना होता है usually what do we do it on the basis of altitude, right? हम लोग ने last chapter में देखा that on the basis of altitudes they have made it, right? But if you want to classify, like if you want to लैंडफॉर्म का मेजरमेंट करना है तो उसके लिए भी यू कैन डू अ सिमिलर क्लासिफिकेशन. सो व्हाट इज इट? ओके, थिंक अबाउट इट. If the classification of landform on land can be done on the basis of altitude and size, then how can be landform submerged underwater by classified? तो वही हम लोग चैप्टर में देखेंगे that how you will get to know the answer once the chapter is completed. Okay, तो again this would be like your homework questions. आप लोग को you need to think once the chapter is over you will get to know some, you'll understand some points and then you have to answer these questions. Can you tell? Try to name the landforms shown in the figure 4.1. What parameters were used for classifying the landform on the earth? What parameters were used for naming the landforms on earth? Okay, let us see further. Geographical explanation. The relief or ocean floor. Land submerged below oceanic water is called as ocean floor. Okay, तो जो land ocean water के नीचे होता है उसको हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं स्टूडेंट्स? ocean floor. The relief of ocean floor is decided upon the depth from the sea floor and the shape of the land there. So how do you describe the relief of the ocean? Relief is, it can be mountain, lands, whatever is related, like a water, mountain bodies, anything on the land is called as relief. So how do you decide that relief? It can be like from the depth of the sea, वो land depth of the sea like sea, और वो land का distance कितना है. If you measure that, or if you measure the shape of the land, then you can describe the relief of ocean. The average depth of the ocean is around 3,700 meters. The ocean bed is also uneven like the land on the other continents. Okay, so what is the average depth? अभी हम लोग ने पढ़ा that because of the depth or because of the shape you can find the relief of the ocean. So the average depth is 3,700 meters. Okay, and also the land जो है ना below the ocean is not uneven. Okay, sorry, is uneven. Okay, जैसे हम लोग ने पहले पढ़ा. The ocean floor relief consists of all submerged landforms. The structure of the ocean floor differ from ocean to ocean. Okay, so what all it contains? It contains all the submerged landform. Now, which one are they? We will see in the picture. Okay, and it might differ, right, from various ocean to ocean. It might differ because the depth is different, the land formation is just different in all the oceans, so it may differ from ocean to ocean. We will look at the sequence of landform and all the details of major landforms on the ocean floor. As we go away from the coast, the structure of the ocean floor changes. We will study the explanation below, that we are going to study which all are the structures present on the ocean relief. Okay, so the very first is continental relief. Okay, sorry, continental shelf. If you can see the picture, वहाँ पे जो third है from left hand side is continental shelf. Okay, what do you see? It is basically the कौन सा पार्ट है? इफ़ यू कैन सी, देखो जो ओशन है उसका जो नज़दीक वाला पार्ट है सबसे, that is called as continental shelf. Let us see in the description so that you understand. The land near the coast and somewhat under the sea is called continental shelf. Okay, so the one which is very near to the coast, okay, उसको बोलते हैं continental shelf. You might have seen, हम लोग जब भी देखते हैं most of the time, the land which is near the ocean and थोड़ा सा जो पानी में होता है which is submerged under the sea is called continental shelf. This is shallowest part of the ocean bed. It is also called as submerged coastland. Its slope is gentle, right? That it is shallow, इतना deep नहीं होता है because it is near to the coast, and even we sometimes have seen that. So you know it's not that steep, and it is also called as coastland, submerged coastland. The extent on the continental shelf is not uniform everywhere. It is narrow along the coast of some continents while it is broad for hundreds of kilometers at others. Its depth is up to 200 meters below sea level. Okay, so as we said, कि जो extent है, like you know that the particular measurement of continental shelf, it may vary from ocean to ocean. So somewhere it can be broad, okay, while somewhere it can be narrow, because it depends on particular ocean to ocean, so it may vary. Okay, and the depth, अभी हम लोग ने देखा ना, it is like submerged a little bit in the ocean. So what is the depth of it? 200 meters below the sea level. The continental shelf is very important from the point of view of humans. Extensive fishing grounds are found on the continental shelf. As the part is shallow, the sunlight reaches its bed. Algae, plankton, etc. grow here. This is food for fish, right? कि अभी कैसा है, हम लोग ने बोला that it is very close. We might have seen also continental shelf. So what happened? It is just 200 meter, right? The depth is only 200 meter. So when sunrise आता है ना, sun rays आता है, तो it reaches to the ocean bed, एकदम नीचे तक वो पहुँचता है, and because it is getting proper ocean में है, it is getting sunlight, so algae and all of these like plankton हो गया, algae हो गया, that grows there, and when it grows it is like a fish of food, so it is beneficial for fishes. Okay, Natural gas, mineral oil, and various minerals can be obtained by mining the continental shelf. For example, Mumbai High, located on the continental shelf of Arabian Sea, it is source from where we obtain mineral oil and natural gas. Okay, so you can also extract certain minerals. Okay, so like for an example, we have the Mumbai High, which is located in Mumbai. So from there also people do extract minerals, mineral oil, natural gases. Okay, so this is called as continental shelf, student, which is a part which is near to the coast, which is not that deep. It is very beneficial for humans, at the same time it's beneficial for fishes. The depth is almost 200 meters, and yeah, people do extract mineral oil and natural gas. Now the second one is continental slope. If you see right, towards the right of continental shelf in the figure 4.2, you'll get to know what is continental slope. After the extent of continental shelf is over, the slope of the seabed becomes steeper. Right, you can see in the picture now it is steep. This is called as continental slope. The depth of the continental slope is around 200 to 3600 meters. In some places, this lower boundary of continental slope is considered to be the boundary of continents. Okay, हम लोग ने पहले देखा the depth of continental shelf was 200 meters, but over here the slope it varies from 200 to 3600 meters. Such vast is the depth of ocean, okay, or of continental slope, and it is quite narrow if you can see in the picture. See, student, yeah. The next one is abyssal planes. Okay, now what do you mean by abyssal plane, students? It is there in the picture. Yeah, we do have the picture given in the figure 4.2. So the very part to the right hand side towards the down is called as abyssal plane. Now what it is, let us see. Beyond the continental slope lies the abyssal plains, which are the flat part of the sea level. The abyssal plains consist of various submerged landforms like hill, plateau, etc. Okay, so just below the continental slope, the part which is flat is called as abyssal plains. Okay, and वहाँ पे क्या क्या है? It may consist landforms like hill, plateau, etc. As I said you earlier, ocean relief. Ocean relief मतलब क्या होता है? It includes hills, plateaus, etc. So that is called as ocean relief. तो ocean relief में भी किसमें plateau and mountains located होते हैं? It is located in abyssal plains. Fine. Mountain ranges and plateaus. The hills and the mountains found on the ocean bed are called submerged hills and mountains. Okay, so the normal ones we know, but the one which are found under the ocean beds, okay, they are called as submerged hills and submerged mountains. These hills are hundreds of kilometers wide and thousands of kilometers long. Peaks of some of the submerged hills come above the sea level. They are visible to us as a marine island in the Atlantic Ocean. Andaman and Nicobar Island in the Bay of Bengal are such examples of what sometimes happen, that these mountains are so huge and so tall that their peaks, okay, जो ऊपर का peak part होता है ना, that is visible, and that is called, like, people do recognize it as marine islands. Okay, so few of examples are like Atlantic Ocean हो गया, Andaman Nicobar हो गया, वैसा. The summits of some marine islands are flat and extensive. They are called as oceanic or submarine plateau. For instance, Chagos Plateau in the Indian Ocean. Okay, तो ऊपर हम लोग ने देखा that the one which are peak, okay, the one which have peak, अगर peak visible है तो that was known as marine islands, and there was some example, right? But when the summits of submarine, okay, fine, yeah, but they are talking about marine islands. So when the summit of some marine islands are flat and extensive, okay, जो जिनका summit है ना, अभी now we are talking about marine islands, the one which have peaks. तो जब उनका summit plain होता है ना या flat होता है, then they are called as oceanic or submarine plateau. Okay, and the example given is Chagos Plateau in the Indian Ocean. Now coming towards the next topic, marine deeps and marine trenches. On the ocean beds there are some, you can see the picture in the 4.2. On the ocean bed there are some landforms which are deep, narrow and steep. They are called as marine deep or marine trenches. Okay, so now landforms हम लोग ने देखे, landforms कहाँ पे अवेलेबल होते हैं, Abyssal Plane में, but वहाँ पे the one which are deep, narrow and steep, okay, the mountains or the landforms which are deep, narrow and steep, they are called as marine deeps or trenches. Generally, the shallower ones are called as marine deeps, while deeper ones in extending for the longer distance are called trenches. Okay, so the landforms below the ocean bed, which are generally shallow, what is they known as marine deeps. Okay, and one which are actually deep, what are they known as trenches. Clear, student? The trenches are thousands of meters deep from the ocean. The Mariana Trench in the Pacific Ocean is the deepest trench in the world. Okay, so sometimes the meters, the trenches are very deep. अभी हम लोग ने ऊपर ही देखा what is trenches, the one which has deep and narrow steep. Okay, so the very specific ocean which is very much deep trench is the Mariana Trench. Okay, it is the deepest trench in the world, entire world. Its depth is around 11,034 meters. The mid-oceanic submerged hills and marine trenches are geologically the most active most active areas of the ocean bed in the world. There are many active volcanoes here. These areas also are earthquake prone areas. Earthquake and volcanic eruption occurring in the ocean bed give rise to tsunamis in the nearby coastal areas. Okay, so when the ocean parts where these hills and marine trenches are submerged, they are the areas which have, they are the active areas. Why active areas? They are active areas for earthquake prone, for earthquake or for volcano or for tsunamis. Okay, so all of these places where there are many submerged hills and marine trenches. Okay, so all of these places are a great example where earthquake or volcano or tsunami can take place. Marine deposition. The marine beds are the deep part of the world. The marine beds are the deep part of the world in respective region. Hence, various deposits are found in this part. The deposits are as follows, right? The marine beds are the main example. वही होता है जिनके नीचे you can find deposits. Now, what are the deposits? It can be minerals or certain objects. So let us see what is it. What are the depositions under these marine beds? First, pebbles, clay, soil, etc. brought by rivers, glaciers, etc. from the continents, right? So from the continents, like the soil which is being brought, or the clay, or the pebbles, the stones which are being brought from the continents, they are deposited below this marine beds. Next, the deposition occurs mainly on the continental shelf and they are called as marine deposits. हम लोग ने देखा that some deposits are found on the continental shelf, right? And then people extract it and also food is being prepared for fishes, right? Second, lava and ash erupting out of volcanic eruption is also found here. Fine soil particles are deposited on large scale. Remains of marine plants and animals are mixed in this deposits. Okay, so if you see the picture, you'll understand that. Now we have seen that volcano and earthquake take place. So the lava which has been removed, the lava which has been come out of this volcano, that can be useful, or the ash which has come out of this volcano, that is used. And then there are fine soil particles which are used by people. Then there are marine plants and animals also, okay, the one which are found under the seabed, even they are being found as a deposits. This mixture is made up of fine particles and they lie in the form of fine clay. This is around 30% of the deposits, and these are called as marine oases. Okay, so the plants and animals उनका mixture कैसा होता है? It is fine particle of clay. Okay, and that is called as, and almost this is like 30% of the deposit के जो marine oceans या beds है उनका 30% deposits यही सारी चीज़ों का होता है. So they are called as marine oases. To understand the form of marine life in the ocean and the availability of minerals on the ocean bed, these deposits are very important, right? That to know what all minerals are available under the marine beds, or to understand the marine life, ये कौन से animals या कौन के plants available है, to understand all of these things, existence of these minerals is very important. If they don't exist only, then we won't be able to understand it, right? Sedimentary rocks are formed due to the deposition of layers over layers of the sediment and pressure of sea vapor, right? Sea water, that whenever there is deposition of all of these things, there are layers formed, and these layers, they lead to sedimentary rocks. Besides some human induced material in the besides some human induced material is also found here. This includes sewage, solid waste, radioactive material, waste chemical, plastics, etc. Right? This is the problem which we all are facing these days, that we ourselves deposit certain materials, the one which are not at all useful. In fact, they give harm to the oceans, right? They are like sewage हो गया, कचरा डालते हैं, solid waste डालते हैं, radioactive chemical डालते हैं. These waste prove hazardous to the hydrosphere. These materials are extremely harmful to the marine life and its environment. Though the polluting components are less, their nuisance value is more, right? These all are objects which humans are inducing into ocean bed. It is not at all useful to marine life, rather it destroys their life. Okay, so we humans should understand this, that we are not allowed to deposit all of these materials, all of these sewage, etc. in the seabeds, okay, because it can be harmful and hazardous to the marine life which are residing under them. And if they get harmed, certain objects or certain minerals are getting harmed, then we only humans won't get minerals to extract. Okay, so we should think about it and not do that. Coming towards the next part. While talking about page number 27, it's all about information which they have provided you. Okay, so the first one is sort of map reading, where they have just given you a chotu sa map, and they have said you that can you identify and name the submerged landforms, or which region would be ideal for fishing. So the general questions they are asking you. Now use your brain power. There are materials coming along with the waves, right? One is natural and one is man-made. And again, natural, there are plants and certain objects given, and artificial, they have given metals, plastic, glasses, etc. Right? Now you have to answer few questions like which of these are the perishable items, and out of these items, the one which are natural and the one which are man-made, you have to find out that which one is the perishable one and which are the non-perishable ones. Okay, what will happen because of perishable items? What will happen because of non-perishable items? We are talking about perishable, but what do you mean by perishable, student? The one which can be decayed easily, okay, कि जो आराम से easily decay हो जाता है, और the one which is too bad, that is called as perishable. Okay, so again you have to think according to you and you have to write your answer. Do you know, while studying the ocean floor, we must keep in the mind the age of the ocean bed. By studying deposits on the ocean bed, it occurred to the scientists that the deposition at the ocean floor are not older than 200 million years, right? So these minerals are like 200 million years ago. Okay, मतलब उनका एज उतना है, they are that long, that old. The maximum age of the rocks on the continents is supposed to be 3,200 million years. Then when have the deposits of the seabed, which are older than 200 million years, gone? This made the scientists restless, right? So where are these minerals gone which are that old? So the scientists all were restless while they were doing research. They got to know that this ocean bed is that long, but what about the minerals of all of these ocean bed? Then they started the study of rocks along with the deposits. This made them realize that the rocks are also not older than 200 million years. तो उनको अभी पता चला कि बाबा इतना ocean bed पुराना है. So they started researching about the rocks along with the depositions or along with the minerals. And when they started studying about rocks, they got to know a new identity, that even the rocks are not more old than 200 million years. It was inferred that the ocean floor is very young as compared to the earth's surface. Now this is unanimously occupied or unanimously accepted. The research was then used in the study of the concept of plate tectonics. Okay, that now they're saying that these ocean beds are young as compared to earth's surface. अभी ये digest करने के लिए it was very difficult, because one side you say it is 3,200 million years ago, and then they are young also. So this concept was useful for scientists when they were studying the concept of plate tectonics. Okay, the plate tectonics का concept they were studying. So all of these information were very useful to them, and that is how we come to the end of the chapter. I hope you have understood what is ocean bed, what are the parts of ocean bed, what do you find there, continental shelf, continental slope, all of the factors. If you understand the chapter easily, students, फिर आपको है ना लर्न करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. once the concept is understood, you remember it throughout your life. Okay, and that is why I believe that question answers is something you guys can do accordingly, because now you know what like question क्या पूछा है, उससे related answers कहाँ कहाँ पे हो गए, because you have gone through the chapter, right? So again, as per I always say, that the questions in the exercise would be your homework. Okay, chalo then.